amusement aquariums across the U.S. Those are going to be the California sea lions you see most commonly. So her species is native to South America. What's really interesting is this species of sea lion is the only species of sea lion found on both coastlines. They're found on the west and the east coast of South America, which is really, really cool. But Rose is 20 years old. That is considered geriatric or old for a sea lion. I don't want to say it's common. Tell her that story. I'm going to do one even worse. I'm going to tell you how much she weighs. I'm so sorry, Rose, because this is the rudest presentation. Rose is weighing right about 300 pounds. That's pretty big, right? But now the females of this species are a lot smaller. So Rose weighs about 300 pounds, but the males have the ability to get up over 1,000 pounds. They're really big. My boyfriend's bigger, way bigger than she is. Now the reason that they're so big is they're called sexually dimorphic, meaning the males get a lot bigger than the females. They put on a bunch of weight as they get in closer to breeding season, the late summer, early fall. So they're going to pack on all that weight. Rosie's going to stay about the same weight all of her life. She doesn't have major weight fluctuations like the males will, but she does eat a lot of fish. Now that red bucket that Gabby has is full of a different variety of fish we feed our sea lion. She's eating capelin, some thread herring, some sardines. We've got European herring, all the herrings, squid. Squid is a fun one. She can be a little messy with her food sometimes. You can eat it. So to sustain Rosie's weight, we're feeding Rose about 10 to 15 pounds of fish every single day. Hi guys, come on in. Pile in right here, find a place to stand. So what's really cool is that we actually hand sort Rose's fish. All of our sea lions and all of our dolphins get their fish hand sorted every single morning. Someone comes in about 6 a.m. bright and early, and we actually look over every single fish. We look at the front, we look at the back, we make sure there's no missing eyeballs, no missing fins, and we're going to make sure that they're getting top-notch restaurant quality fish, so they're getting the best nutrition possible. And their diet is very closely tracked as well. We have a very intense Excel spreadsheet that's in charge of your calories, how much fat percentage, how much protein. We'll keep it nice and quiet for me over there, guys, okay? We want to keep this nice and fun for Rose. So their diets are very well documented and well tracked, and that's how we know exactly how much Rose is eating. Gabby probably knows exactly how many calories she's getting, honestly. Do you know how many calories?
Her average right now is about 6,700 calories per day.
There you have it.
6,700. Too many calories.
Too many calories. She says no. But that's how much she needs to stay the size. So that fish is a really, really important way of how they're staying nice and healthy. But Rose is actually 20 years old, like I said. Under human care are actually living into their late 20s or their early 30s versus out in the wild they might only live 10 to 15 years. So they're living a lot longer under care. A couple of reasons. One being that fish. She's getting excellent nutrition and she's eating exactly as much as she needs. She's not hunting for hours and hours on end looking for fish out in the wild. She's not going to find as much. She would never hunt that much. She'd be so lazy. But also the number one reason why we train our sea lions, why we work with them here, is for their health care. We call it husbandry. It's not finding Rose a husband. It's just their health care, right? So we want to make sure we can give them the best care possible. And it's all voluntary. So everything Rose does for us, it's her own choice. We work really hard to make sure we have a good relationship with our sea lions, and that those behaviors are something she wants to participate in and be a part of, so we can give her the best care possible. So Rose lets us do all kinds of amazing behaviors with her. She allows us to give her eye drops. So we'll give her eye drops in both of her eyes. We'll mimic an eye drop with our pinky. She also allows us to brush her teeth. We can ask. That's okay. Good. So we can mimic our finger with the toothbrush. She does have her own little toothbrush, a little bit of baking soda and water mix. No Colgate or Crest here. But what's really interesting is if you do look at their teeth, what color are they? Maybe we can all ask to open her mouth together. So we'll all ask to see her teeth. We'll say the word open on the count of 3. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Open. What color are her teeth? Kind of a blacky brown color. It's okay, you can say it. It's not offensive. That's normal. That's natural. So sea lions don't have the same enamel that we have. They're not going to have pearly whites. They have pearly browns. So that's a healthy protective coating, that color that's built up on their teeth over their lifetime. It's built up of fish oils in combination with some healthy bacteria in their mouth that does create that protective coating. So when we're brushing their teeth, we're not going to get that color off. We're just getting any plaque or any scales or fish guts or that kind of stuff in their teeth. Rose is also very pampered. She also gets mouth flushes. So we'll actually flush her mouth with some Chlorohex disinfectant to make sure her mouth is staying nice and clean. Maybe some fresh breath, maybe. Our sea lions also get a PM and AM skincare routine. So sea lions can be really itchy animals, so some of them actually get anti-itch spray on any of those itchy spots they might have around their face or around their back end. some of our sea lions also get toe flushes. We can trim their nails. We can file them, drum them. They get everything essentially but a color here. And they get way more pedicures than all of us combined. Good. So they're very, very pampered sea lions. So that health care is another really, really big reason why they are living a lot longer under care. But they also don't have to worry about predators. There's no sharks in her pool. We check every single morning. Never any sharks. So there's no sharks, and they also don't have to worry about all those plastics and pollutions that are floating around in the ocean as well. Have you guys noticed if Rose is chewing her fish or if she's swallowing it whole? Swallowing it whole, that's right. So take a look, you'll see. Just goes right down the ash. No chewing involved. So it's actually an adaptation that they have. So I mentioned their predator is a shark. I want to say it's scary. No, I'm just kidding. So their predator is a shark. So if they were to actually chew up their fish out in the wild, it would create chum, and chum would attract sharks. So they have adapted to swallowing it whole, but unfortunately the inside of the candy wrapper or gym bag looks just like a fish, right? So those plastics and pollutions out in the wild are also causing a big threat to them, unfortunately, as well. Luckily for Rose and all of our other sea lions back there, we make sure there's no plastics or pollutions in there. So if you guys ever see any plastics or pollutions that's out in the ocean, it could end up in the sea lion's belly. So always pick it up and do what you can. But yeah, do you guys have any questions? Any questions? No? They make sounds, yeah. How about, yeah, so Rose is actually going to send us out with her amazing South American sea lion bark. Let's ask it together. On the count of 3, we'll say the word bark, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bark! And a very deep bark, yes. All right, you guys. Rosie is doing an amazing job. She has a very good nap to get to. She's going to say bye, you guys. I'm going to hang here if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much for being patient, waiting for that second presentation to happen. Okay, but have a great rest of your